had the tools, we had talent. It's Miller time.
Welcome to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube. I'm your host, Ian, the professional idiot in charge of this workbench. We are building the Gizmo today. Not just, well, we already built this Gizmo. We're building the Gizmo version 2, the new one with the brown board, a la Spongefacey looking. There was collaboration, and Spongeface was the guy who built all the things for Afterlife, all the little gizmos, I mean, the belt gizmos. So, this is gonna, I already, go to the unboxing if you want to see every little bit and piece. Tools required. Here we go. This is the beginning. Make sure you have pretty much all this stuff, or else, you know, it won't be as easy. Soldering iron, okay? The last board I built with a cheap Ayuyuye brand from Amazon. It's fine, you know, but it didn't have any, like, actual real knowable temperature control. So I got this. Also, the nice silicone cord. I'm not doing a review on a soldering gun. Soldering iron, the hot melt glue gun we do have, but we don't really need it. If you're not soldering it, get yourself a little glue gun. This is a pretty fine tip. What else do we got? Epoxy glue. I don't have any of that. I might have to run out. Otherwise, I'll see if I get something else that'll work. Super glue. Plenty of that. Glue our finger to our forehead as usual. Pliers. I got these Tecton sells a nice set of precision pliers. The really nicest part, I mean, you got your wire snipper, you need that, is these smooth jawed. They're dead smooth. They have no teeth. They're very good for bending things and pulling on little connectors when needed. And we got another set of smooth jawed needle nose. Pliers, wire cutters, and strippers. These are great. Klein tools, not too expensive, and they go from 20 to 32 gauge. This is the fine gauge pair. These come in handy for modeling with tiny wires. Wire strippers, a small Phillips screwdriver, check. Just any little, you know, this is a PH1. That should be fine. We got other ones if we need them. Heat source, heat gun or lighter. Here we go. The last one I used my old Harbor Freight, like $20 heat gun, and it was fine, but it had a very inflexible cord, and it would always be knocking things over left and right. So I got this one because it's cordless, and I have been called a Makita tool fanboy. Okay, correct. But yeah, little, it's nice. Takes a little while to heat up versus a plug-in one. Heat source, 1.9-volt battery, check. Etch primer for metallic surfaces. So if you're painting that board, I like this stuff. Mr. Hobby metal primer. This is a clear primer, actually, for good adhesion to the aluminium that we're going to paint. Wipe that down first with alcohol before you spray this on. And then some matte or satin black spray paint. I have this stuff. This is perfect, I think. Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Black. There's a very fine surface primer from Mr. Hobby. It's pretty tough stuff, and it's not glossy. It's like a matte satin. You know, this will work perfect. We're doing this without the airbrush today. There's the big Sanyo floppy black thing here. I'm gonna hit it with just a tiny bit of semi-gloss super clear here, just in case. And then that's it for the real list. My list now is coming up. We have the solder to go with the soldering iron. That's a given. Flux. Okay, so you either the rosin flux paste or this nice little needle applicator of flux paste. You wanna use flux if possible. It helps the solder flow into joints better. And since we're doing functional electronics on this board, definitely recommended by me. On top of which, everyone needs a helping hand every now and then. So, set of helping hands. This is my new fancy Chinese $20 job from Amazon. My older one is tangled up in a bundle, but like even one of these little stupid things from Harbor Freight for $4, they come in handy. Pun intended. And then if you're over 40 like me, nearing the middle of your 40s, a set of magnifying headwear is handy to have. Yeah, that's it. Also, make sure the tip on your soldering iron is in good condition. If not, you can get a bunch of replacement tips on Amazon pretty cheap. Try to have a nice fresh tip on here. Get your sponge wet. You have your little cleaning brass wool or whatever this is. And that is it for the equipment list, I believe. Oh, and, you know, preferably a frosty beverage of your choice. Today is seltzer with a bit of lime in it. It's quite nice, refreshing. And that's all we got for now. We'll be right back with the kit, and we're going to start on the Daughterboard first. Okay, we've got all our little parts. This EEPROM is just so cool. Look at that thing. It's got a little bit of a holographic effect, like a little color shifting going on to that little chip in the center there. That's pretty awesome. So here's all our parts, and we just gotta basically start soldering things on. This is the Afterlife Daughterboard I'm building, because I already have a GB1 Daughterboard here. So like I said, if I need to swap, I can swap them around. Grab the Daughterboard, blah blah blah, bend the things. So I'm gonna start doing this, and I'll show you a little step by step here. But mostly just follow the instructions. They're absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing in that instruction sheet that I could ever add to, other than saying flux would be a good idea to add on. It's kind of a nice to have, but honestly, it makes soldering so much easier. Be right back. Well, like I said, I can't add much in the instructions, but for bending the wires. So these flat, smooth-jawed, these things do a fantastic job of bending these wires. Get it almost to the little capacitor or diode or resistor or whatever the hell. It's a resistor, sorry. Yeah, and once you have them bent, this is a very finely made precision thing here. We just slid them in the holes, and they just about click into place, making it almost unnecessary to tape them down, but we're still going to tape them down. We always keep some tape just on the end of the workbench handy, and tape it down nice and firm, and we're going to trim off our excess. Okay, you just need a couple millimeters sticking out there. And then we're going to solder them on. And I will not solder live on camera because I know I'll screw something up. I'll be right back. Okay, we've got everything soldered on from the first photo in the instructions. Looking nice. So you want nice, it's hard to see. You want a nice full blob solder, you know, there. You don't want like a cold joint. Not so much for these decorative ones, but for the functional ones. I'm not going to give you a soldering tutorial. I'm not that good at it. Okay, all I could say is use fresh solder. I was using some old Radio Shack stuff from 30 years ago on my last one. That solder did not work so good. Flux and a hot soldering iron with a clean tip. I have this thing set at 700 degrees, which might be a little excessive, but it's quick. So you don't want to like keep the soldering iron on anything too long because you could overheat components. And with the decorative bits, it's not so, you know, it's not the end of the world, but with the functional ones, oh boy, yeah, don't want to mess those up. So we're going to get on and just solder a few more of these components on. Some of them just kind of click into place, but you still tape them down before you solder them. Helping hands. Always have a friend handy when you're soldering. I'll be right back. Okay, step 1 from the instruction manual is all done. Other pro tip, have Ghostbusters music playing over your speakers while working. Daughterboard, GB3. Oh, that's going to cause controversy. Here we go. We got the 2016 deniers. It was a movie. It existed. It wasn't terrible, but it was just different. So there we go. That's that. And we're going to get... Ooh, we get to put the EEPROM in. Ooh, baby. This thing, I'm just going to, like, dip all the legs in the flux. That'll make it much, much easier to deal with. Be right back. Okay, we're back with a little tip. Not sure if the back of the controller... I'm just reading the instructions here. So basically, the EEPROM, the legs are splayed out a little bit, a little wide. You want to push them in so they're as close to 90 degrees as possible. And you could just put them flat on a surface and gently push it forward. Do that on both sides. And when you do that, it will drop right into place very nicely. Don't worry about all the schmoo and schmutz on here. We're going to wipe everything down with alcohol when we're done because the flux is kind of messy. So that's that. Then we got quite a few pins to solder. We'll be right back. A thing of beauty. Look at that Daughterboard. Okay, these little capacitors, the instructions tell you, straighten out things. These pretty much snap into place pretty well. So I didn't use any masking tape to hold them down. They held themselves in really well. I left all the wire sticking out though, the back. But yeah, there we go. And we got all this flux paste. We're just going to clean that up with a little rubbing alcohol. But the flux makes the soldering so much easier. The solder has some flux in it, but I just find using that flux paste, ooh, so nice. Okay, well, we'll be right back. We got to put on the little alligator clip and a couple little wires, and we're pretty close to done with the Daughterboard. And here we go. She's all done. We got our little solder blobs. These are a little tricky to put on sometimes, but a nice chisel tip or pointy fine tip on your soldering iron helps a lot. So yeah, we just got to attach the big coiled cable and the Daughterboard and the back with the belt clip for the Daughterboard, and we'll be done with this part. We'll be right back. Okay, we're all done with our Afterlife Daughterboard. 5mm nut driver comes in handy. Come on, focus you. There we go. This comes in handy to hold the little nut in place. Hey, if you don't have nut drivers, Viha makes a beautiful set. I've been trying to give away this extra set Amazon accidentally sent me for free forever. Okay, so subscribe, leave a comment below. This is for the continental United States only, the 48 states. So if you're in the States, subscribe, comment. Well, subscribe and comment anyway. Subscribe and comment. My email address is in the description. Shoot me an email and say, gimme those awesome nut drivers. And they're yours. I just can't get rid of the damn things. I've been trying to give them away for like a year now. No one ever, I don't know. It's like, do you not want nut drivers? Precision German crafted? There we go. So there we go. Daughterboard done. Okay. On to the meat and potatoes of this kit, the main board. We will be right back after we collect ourselves. Okay? One sec. Okay, here's the part where I do my best impersonation of someone not about to poop themselves. All the functional electronics. It's not that hard. If I can do, well, we don't know if I can do it yet. We'll find out. Fingers crossed, But yeah, this is here. We got the board. Lovely. I mean, that thing's a thing of beauty. So they're very specific on which way things go in and which way they face. Dave is, there we go. I mean, that level of pedanticism to detail is much appreciated, especially with instructions for something like this with functional electronics. If your instructions aren't on point, you're asking for trouble. It holds itself in pretty well. I'm probably going to put a piece of tape on it anyway. But let's get soldering. Well, we got done with the first page of instructions of functional electronics. Everything is in. I believe all my solder blobs, some of them may be a bit oogly, but I believe they're all making good contact. This is a little nerve-inducing. When you know there's some skin in the game that this won't work if you don't solder them on right, it's exciting. Oh, yes. And it'll make it all the more satisfying when we go and turn her on and see how she spins. Oh, boy. Okay. Back to work. Oh, dear. Here we go. Functional electronics other than the LED board, that is everything in there. There's a little schmoo on the back. I blasted it off with IPA, isopropyl alcohol, not the beer. I might get some flux cleaner spray over at Micro Center. That'll really just blast off all the residue. You don't want to leave flux residue on a board necessarily with functional electronics. It can be a little acidic, but look at that. I swear, I didn't think I had it in me. That 28 pin connector, that is a little tedious, but it went on fine. Don't overdo it with the solder on the 28 pin. You don't want to start soldering your pins together at the back. So fastidious control of your solder is definitely key. Whew, boy. Okay. Back to listening to motion picture scores, soundtracks, whatever, of different Ghostbusters movies. Already listened to Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2, and then the 2016 movie score came on. Totally different vibe. Different vibe. Oh boy, weird vibe. Whatever. I mean, I didn't love the movie. It was Ghostbusters. Fine. Okay. But okay, let's not get down that rabbit hole. Okay, we'll be back with some more soldering action. Is really all the video is. Solder, solder, solder. Be right back. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, so we got it all soldered together. We got the little 3 wires soldered on the back of the LED board here, and we've got our 9-volt battery attached. And I'm very pleased, and also completely surprised at the same time, that it works. Oh my god. That is just awesome. We got the 2 little buttons here. This is color and this is mode. So we got all the little... This thing has some more... No, it's got about the same amount of colors. I don't know. We're going to have to compare this one for one. But, wow. Purple. Like a white. Wow, look at it. It all works. Okay, patterns. Different patterns. Okay, we're going to have some different... This thing's got more... Well, we got the Knight Rider. Got the glowy. I love that pattern. Probably sucks the battery down pretty quick. But... Then we got the slow, random. Good. Then we've got the seizure-inducing random. Also good. Now, this one I think is new. I don't think the version 1.0 or 1.2 board did this, so that's cool. That's a new one. That's definitely a new pattern. That's cool. That's just solidly lit. And then our little rainbow pattern, which is awesome. You know, very similar to this one. Very cool. Oh my God, this thing is amazing. Holy crap. Well, the really hard part is over. Now just the tedious part is to go. But my God, I was pooping myself the whole time doing this. But Dave says it's easy in the instructions. Well, not easy, but fairly simple. But man, woof, this thing is sweet. I love it. That is so cool. Yeah, I love that one. Just that glowing, pulsing. This is a cool pattern. That's also a cool pattern. Man. And remember, these things are your friend, these ultimate lithium batteries. You want these suckers. This thing will chew through a 9-volt in a couple of hours of an alkaline. Then even a max alkaline. 3 hours maybe. But damn. And of course, we'll have to... yeah, that is so cool. Oh, man. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, there we go. We've got two functional Belt Gizmos. One in brown, one in green. I think this video is going to get way too long, so part 1 will be the Daughterboard and the functional electronics. Part 2, we're going to do all of the rest of it, I guess. If I determine that this isn't too long, we'll continue now, but I'm pretty sure this is... We'll trap you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.